Hello traders, Gary Wagner here, just after 12 noon in Honolulu, 6 o'clock in New York. It is Wednesday, 14th day of October, 2020, and this is the daily report for gold and silver. We saw an immediate and fast recovery in both gold and silver, with gold closing back above 1900. It seems as though the lack of fiscal stimulus before the election has now been factored into the market, and market participants are focusing on two other things: the presidential election and the rising cases of COVID. We'll talk about that when we look at our charts, but first, to the price board. We had a nice recovery in the precious metals markets, with the exception of platinum today. That did close lower, but gold, silver, and palladium did trade higher on the day. Gold back above $1,900, currently fixed at $1,905.50. It's a net gain of almost 0.6%, up $10.90 on the day. Silver also gained almost a full percentage today in trading, up 23 cents, with December futures currently fixed at $24.36. When we look at SLV, the iShares Silver Trust, that gained about 0.2% at $22.54, and GLD also had gains of about 0.3% at $178.27. That was all aided by some light tailwinds from a slightly weaker U.S. dollar, down just over 0.1% and currently fixed at 93.41.5. As you can see, gold definitively traded to a lower low than yesterday, actually hitting 1895.40. The high on the day was 1917.50, and it certainly recovered, closing back over $1,900 an ounce, currently at 1905.50. As I said, I was expecting support to really come into the market roughly at around 1880. That would be this area right here. So we came very, very close to that price point. We certainly got a lower high than we saw yesterday, but it opened above the close of yesterday's candle and closed just below the midpoint of the sell-off yesterday. We recovered roughly 1/3 of yesterday's $30 decline. My sense is this is showing us that there is going to be good support again at 1900, with our first area of potential resistance coming in at around 1920. And considering that the high today was 1750, we can see that it came fairly close to that particular price point. And then above there, I see real resistance coming in at around 1940. The fact of the matter is, because we saw this quick recovery, it tells me that first, there will probably not be a fiscal stimulus bill passed before the election itself has been largely factored into the market. And now the market is focusing on the uncertainty of the presidential election, along with the continued rising cases of COVID-19. Another very bullish factor for gold on a technical basis is the fact that if we look at the lows that came in the last week of September and create a basic trend line moving up, we can see that even with the sell-off that occurred over the last 2 trading days, we still have a defined upward trend, and I believe that we will see gold move higher. We've simply got to break through first 1920 and then 1941. We did pull profits yesterday. We are currently flat with no active trades. So our current strategy is going to be to reposition ourselves on the long side in both gold and silver. We will send out the appropriate trade alert via email and SMS text message once we trigger a buy signal in those markets. We are looking at a daily candlestick chart of December silver futures, currently at $24.36. And so it is right in between two key areas. I'm looking at support at $23, and I'm pegging this as a fairly major level of support. I'm also looking at current resistance at about 25.75. So I would look for the market to continue to track higher. What we want to see is, will it back off when it hits 26, if in fact it goes there, or barrel straight through. If it does, our target would become $28 per ounce. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you as always good trading. We will talk to you tomorrow for the next daily update and review. Bye-bye.